My brothers, what's up, man? So we're on day 12 of our vacation, the final day of our vacation before we head home, and it was absolutely amazing. We would book another tour through Viator, and it was a tour of Apostle Paul's steps on his way to ancient Corinth. And we had another amazing tour guide. His name was Ruslan, and he was very knowledgeable of Paul and his teachings, and being the primary writer of the New Testament, it was just amazing to hear his perspective. You know what I mean? Being in the area, you know what I mean? And so we would stop on our way. It's about 51 miles south of Athens, so it was an hour drive, but we would stop at this place called the Isthmus of Corinth, which is a narrow land bridge which would later be turned into a canal. And it's about a 4 mile stretch from two bodies of water. And it would end up running boats through. So there was like it was all the way, they tried to get this to turn into a canal all the way to 7th century BC. The guy Peridian, he tried to do it. Also Tiberius, he tried to do it, but he ended up installing an Egyptian type of technique, rolling the boats across this area. And then, of course, they would have Nero. That was, we all know how wicked this guy was, but he had like 6,000 Jewish slaves try to dig this thing out. And eventually, after Nero died, they just abandoned the project, and it was too expensive. But in 1893, they finished it. It was about an 11-year project, and man, the water is just beautiful. And now you're able to bungee jump off this canal. And of course, I'm going to do that, so it was just kind of like a leap of faith, it was kind of doing it for Paul. He had to come to Corinth, and knowing that Corinth was just a wicked place, like it was just a lot of debauchery, and he was able to plant a church there. The port of Ketreel would come in, and the sailors, anytime you got a port and you got sailors and all this kind of stuff, then we would go to just to be able to walk around the agora and just to read First Corinthians in Corinth was just surreal. And then there's another, like an Acropolis type of thing. It's called the Acrocorinth, which is above Corinth, and the views were absolutely amazing. Man, we would walk up there. There's a church in there. There's different lookout stations, and we were able to take some pictures. Me and my wife, and just a beautiful scenery. And then we would later, on the bottom of the Acrocorinth, there's a restaurant posted there, and probably one of my favorite meals of all time. It was just so good and super blessed, you guys. But that was our trip. Love you guys. Peace.